the kind of things I have read and seen on social media since the announcement that GMO has now been officially released in Nigeria. If you don't know what GMO is, genetically modified maize, specifically, that it was Bill Gates that assigned it. And you know, there's just so much propaganda around it. Today I'm going to give you guys all the things you need to know about GMO. I'm going to be explaining them to you from a layman's perspective. Okay, from somebody who has done a little bit of research on it to a layman. Because when I read about it, I was like, okay, because as I just hear the GMO, I was like, God, I beg, let Corona not come back. Oh, hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria Habila. I'm an entrepreneur, agric entrepreneur. I own an agric storage and agric investment company. I help people invest in agriculture. You can watch all of my videos to understand better, but today let's enlighten ourselves on what exactly GMO is, because if it seems so, exactly what is GMO? GMO stands for genetically modified organisms, okay, just as it stands. And I'm going to just break it down for you based on what I wrote here, because it's a lot. So what is GMO? GMO is a genetically modified organisms. This can happen both in plants and animals, so they can modify both plants and animals. Now, what is the problem with GMO? Is it the genetic modification? Because hybrid is also modified. If you don't know what hybrid is, most of the seeds that we consume in Nigeria, most of the food that we consume right now in Nigeria are hybrids. Why is hybrid not a problem but GMO is a problem? I would get to that. Now, why GMO is a problem is because GMO uses high-tech genetic engineering. So high-tech genetic engineering in an attempt to alter the characteristics of an organism. So that's why the genetic modification comes in. Okay, so what this means is, let's say a grain of corn produces 1 bag. We pray. Let me explain this further. Let's say a grain of maize produces maybe 1 mudu of grain after production. Like when you plant and it grows, you now have, instead of 2 cobs, you have like 3 cobs, you know. Originally it will have maybe 1 cob. Hybrid will now make it have a specific kind of color, a specific kind of shape, a specific kind of, you know, texture and all that. That's hybrid. I will do an extensive video on hybrid. But now, when it comes to GMO, when we call something genetically modified, especially using high-tech engineering to modify the organisms, it just means, let me use color for example. This, my hair now is black. Yeah, I want to remove every iota of green inside it. Maybe like it's greenish black. I want to remove every iota of green in it. All I have to do is keep adding black color until I no longer see any green related color in this hair. So genetically modified grains would mean working specifically on taking out some characteristics from this particular grain or animal. So for instance, a cob of maize would normally produce maybe 2 cobs. A grain of maize would normally produce 2 cobs when it's fully ripe and ready for harvest. When you now want to work on it, you now say, okay, you know what, I do not want this maize to be able to be attacked by any form of insect whatsoever. So I'm now going to work on that maize so much so that I will put a lot of resistance to it. Like human beings will take a lot of antibiotics to kill all the whatever. Now you now put a lot of things. I'm not a science student, so I cannot tell you the scientific breakdown. I hope I find somebody who is in the agric field that can break it down for you guys technically, but this is the layman's understanding, and this is how I understand GMO. So they will now work on it so much so that every characteristic that will make that grain to be able to be vulnerable, or like will be able to be exposed to attack, would not be dead. Do you understand? So that's what GMO is in simple terms. I hope that is clear. Now moving on, GMO plants have already been released in Nigeria since tipe. We just did not get an announcement, but it has been released. Some in soybeans, some in cotton, potatoes, and pawpaw. Now, when we now talk about the GMO, what are really the concerns? People are afraid that some European countries actually do not allow GMO products in their countries because World Health Organization has placed a ban on GMO and just raised an eyebrow, basically, that the advantages outweighs the disadvantage. This has not really gone through testing so much to prove beyond reasonable doubt that it is not cancerous. So basically, people are afraid that it's going to cause cancer, it's going to cause a lot of allergies, and it's going to cause a lot of environmental hazards. So in cancer, why this is said to cause a lot of cancer, allegedly, is because it has a glyphosate main herbicides used on GMO products. So glyphosate is the main herbicides used on GMOs, and it is linked to cancer. Just like the way they tell you taking sardine, anything that you save in can will cause you cancer. That's so that's why it has not been approved by World Health Organization. Now, another thing is allergies. You know, some people, is the fact that that thing can be affected by some plants that would, something in it, the characteristics you want to kill might be the resistance in some people's body to allergies. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but that is what it is. Thirdly, environmental. I mean, if plants and animals do not feast on a particular thing, according to an agriculturist, please run away from it. I was discussing with my friend's dad a while ago about mangoes and mango disease, and he was just talking to me about some diseases in plants that, you know, sometimes you see mango oily as if there's one thing, is an attack. So he was trying to tell me how they're trying to, you know, because he worked in AB, he was developing with research and all. He was working with development and research in agriculture. So they taught them different things. At first they were using detergent to pour on the mango, and then the insects will no longer infest it, but then eventually to come back, and they were now looking for like final measures. And then they were taught that whatever would chase, whatever cannot habit animals as well as insects, should not be consumed wholly by human beings, because I mean, it's the whole ecosystem revolves around each and every one of us, animals, plants, we, and everything that's in the ecosystem. So yeah. Lastly, GMO is illegal in France, in Germany, Australia, Greece, Italy, and the Netherlands, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Bulgaria, Poland, Denmark, Malta, Slovenia, Croatia, and Italy. Did I mention Italy here? These are the countries that GMOs are not allowed, because the European Union have not been convinced beyond reasonable doubt that GMO is good, or that GMO is good. But people who are researching and working on it have said that GMO is good, we should not worry. Nigerians, do you think GMO is good or not? In the next video, I'm going to be breaking down all these things that we spoke about and putting them side by side with hybrid and GMO. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys in other videos. Bye.